The city's heartbeat echoed in the distance as I ventured down the narrow alley that cut through the heart of the ghetto. It was a place where time seemed to stand still, and the oppressive darkness clung to the walls like a shroud. My footsteps echoed on the cracked pavement, the only sound in the desolate night. I couldn't help but feel like an intruder in this forsaken place, like an outsider who had stumbled into a world where I didn't belong. But I had a reason for being here, a purpose that drove me deeper into the heart of darkness. The alley was flanked by decaying buildings, their windows boarded up, their secrets hidden away. Graffiti-covered walls told stories of struggle and defiance, and the flickering streetlight overhead cast long, eerie shadows that seemed to reach out for me. I had heard rumors of something that lurked in this alley, something that defied explanation. People whispered of strange occurrences, of disappearances that went unexplained, and of a presence that seemed to watch from the shadows. As I moved further into the alley, the air grew heavy with the scent of decay and despair. Trash and debris littered the ground, and the walls seemed to close in around me. I couldn't help but feel a sense of unease, a creeping dread that I couldn't shake. And then I heard it, the faintest whisper, like the breath of a ghost, coming from the darkness ahead. It was a voice, barely audible, filled with anguish and despair. "Help me," it pleaded, a haunting cry that sent shivers down my spine. I stopped in my tracks, my heart pounding in my chest. "Who's there?" I called out, my voice trembling. There was no response, just the oppressive silence of the alley. I continued forward cautiously, my footsteps echoing in the stillness. The whispering voice grew louder, more insistent, leading me deeper into the darkness. I couldn't resist its call, couldn't ignore the nagging curiosity that compelled me to follow. As I rounded a corner, I came upon a sight that left me paralyzed with fear. A group of shadowy figures stood before me, their faces obscured by darkness, their eyes empty and hollow. They were dressed in tattered clothes, their bodies twisted and contorted. "Help us," one of them whispered, its voice a mournful plea. "Help us find peace." I wanted to run, to escape the nightmarish scene before me, but I was rooted to the spot. The figures reached out to me with skeletal hands, their touch like ice against my skin. "Help us," they whispered, their voices growing louder and more insistent. "Help us find peace." With a surge of adrenaline, I wrenched myself free from their grasp and stumbled backward, my heart pounding, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I turned and fled, crashing through the debris-strewn alley, desperate to escape the horror that had unfolded before me. The whispering voices pursued me, their mournful cries echoing in the night. They seemed to surround me, coming from all directions, as if they were closing in on me. I rounded a corner and emerged into a wider street, gasping for breath. The city's cacophony surrounded me, a stark contrast to the silence of the alley. I didn't stop running until I had put several blocks between myself and the haunting figures. I never returned to that alley, and I never spoke of the horrors I had witnessed. The experience had left me shaken, forever changed by the knowledge that there are places in this world where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur, where the lost souls of the ghetto converge in the darkness, and where whispers of despair can drive a man to the brink of madness